Hi, Rich.
Hi, Jack. What are we doing today?
Right now, there are a lot of games you can play. You have access to every game ever made. The question inevitably comes up, are what games do you need to play? And so we are going to delve into a classic game today to see if it's one of those that people need to play in order to understand the art form better.
What game is that, Jack?
We're going to play Zelda II, The Adventures of Link.
Oh, that's right. The game we said we were going to play in the last episode and that we already played for this episode.
Yeah, we already played it.
Yeah.
This is just like an intro.
You need the context, Jack. You need the context.
What's the context?
So the context is the original Zelda, which was a smash hit. And can you even call the original an RPG?
The Legend of Zelda, the first game, did RPGs different. Normally in an RPG, you kill enough monsters, you gain experience points, and those experience points means that you're either stronger or faster or have more defense, right? Mm-hmm. The Legend of Zelda focused on exploration, and instead of experience points, you got items. And those items, just by having them, made you stronger or made you get to new areas.
That game was a huge hit. Absolutely. And then in the second game, after the huge hit, they did everything different.
Yes.
And I can't wrap my head around why. It's like, we came up with this new crazy formula and it's super successful and everybody's love it. Let's throw all of that shit out. We're gonna do something new. You want to tie what every one of them has had: dungeons, items that make you stronger, and that's how you progress.
Yeah.
Is the second one even a Zelda game?
I mean, it is.
You get new items, but they're not really what makes you stronger. No. The items are basically almost like keys. Like you get the hammer, but that doesn't help you in the combat section of the game. That only opens up a new area for you to explore.
So Zelda II is an action RPG, and it's very much an action game. It concentrates on sword fighting.
Fuck. It's not easy, is it?
No, it's really not easy, dumbass. And leveling up.
Cancel again, and we'll get that other attack. Oh, you did magic! You, what the fuck did you do? I can't even conceive of what you've done! Well, I do like the actual combat itself.
Yeah, it's
because normally in a side scroller, you just expect to mash the attack button over and over again. Just whack, 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 whack. In this one, defense is the key.
Incredibly important.
More important than offense. When those knights are attacking you and they get attack high, or that weird ass looking low attack, you have to be paying attention to that so you can block right or you're dead.
Yep. It's very combat focused, which, by the way, if you're paying attention to the story of it, fits beautifully.
Well, story-wise, it's kind of the Empire Strikes Back of Zelda. You know, in Star Wars, they beat the Empire, and then in the second one, they're kind of on the run from the bad guys after that initial victory, right? The first Zelda, you beat Ganon. The second one, his henchmen are all chasing after you. Link's entire life, apparently, after winning the first game, has been dodging Ganon's minions who want to kill him for his blood.
I love that. I think that's great. And you know me, I don't care about stories, but like I think it's really fantastic where they're like, oh, by the way, yeah, you won, but it's not over. You're fucked.
Here's another odd thing about Zelda 2, right? Okay. What are the stakes?
What do you mean?
I mean, there's no impending threat. There's no main villain.
Right.
There's normally in a plot, there's bad guy X wants the thing so he can do bad thing Y.
Dark Link
Dark Link is a non-character.
It's fine, you know, you face yourself, Rich. You face yourself.
It's not like a character that the story's been building up to the whole time. It's just, you're gonna fight your evil double now?
Yeah.
Who was just kind of formed.
That's neat. Don't you think that's neat? Because that's the ultimate trial, is fighting yourself.
It's an anticlimax. It's an anticlimax. There's no, you triumphed over the great evil.
I was gonna say, I like that about the world, is all of these henchmen are still around, and your enemy is just time. Your enemy is fatigue because you're gonna get tired and get killed. Nope. Fuck, you're doing great. I feel like I'm doing great. Fuck. This is clunky as shit. You're gonna get to play it a little bit too, Rich. And you know what? I'll laugh at you. Ah! I got it once. Bam. Okay.
Dumbass.
In true old school gaming fashion, this is a game that does not hold your hand. So there was one point in which you go to a town and there's a river. And I was in modern video game mode where it's like, I figured I would have Link butt up against the river and maybe Link would stop and say, I can't cross that river yet, and then go back. Right? Because that's what happens in modern video games.
Yes, it is.
But these games don't hold your hand. So what happened was I moved Link, he fell into the river, I lost a life.
That was funny.
That was really funny. And you know what? That taught me a very valuable lesson. Don't fuck around. Yes, I was. Oh my god. Oh my god, there's a wolf throwing boomerangs.
Retreat! Retreat!
Oh my god.
I can't deal with
Get
boomerangs.
the fuck out of there. Zelda II, The Adventures of Link, is a very different game. And you know, that was part of this thing, is like trying to figure out why this game was different. Something I came across was an interview with Miyamoto, the creator of Zelda and the designer for the game. He says usually he writes a game, and then as they make it, it kind of unfolds, and they think of new ways to make it perfect. It polishes it.
They start with an idea, and then it expands as they're working on it. The creative juices flow, and hey, we can also do this.
Yeah.
Right.
But with Zelda 2, he said exactly what they wrote on paper is what's out there. They didn't have any polish. So you can tell it doesn't have that spark that other Zelda games have.
But that doesn't answer the question. The question I have, and I still don't know the answer, is why was Zelda 2 so different on paper in the first place?
I have my theory on the answer. And it's a little arty-farty bullshit. So be prepared for arty-farty bullshit. Something that Nintendo does, I think, better than most game companies, Miyamoto especially, he's very good at incorporating gameplay into the theme of the game. Theming is very big with Miyamoto. So in the first Legend of Zelda game, you are a very young boy and you go on an adventure. It has action, like obviously you're fighting monsters and there are action elements, but the camera is always very far away. It's almost like the action is not real, distance, very childlike, right? And most of the game is about exploring.
I think he actually said he explored caves as a young boy, and that was the inspiration.
Whereas Zelda 2, you play as the same Link from The Legend of Zelda, but you're older now. And instead of going on a random adventure, because if you look at the stories of the game, right?
Yeah.
In the first game, you just happen across Impa, and she tells you what's wrong, and you choose to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
But in the second game, all the bad guys are still around, and they're after you. And you're older, and you're stronger. You're a warrior. So instead of the focus on exploration, they made the focus on the combat.
Like in the original Zelda, no towns, nobody else to talk to other than the random old man in the little room with the fire. But here, you talk to people and they give you cryptic clues on things.
Which, by the way, fits in with the theme of getting older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, again, I'm gonna get arty.
With Miyamoto, I think that's an okay thing to do. Okay. Because he likes doing weird things.
He does. But so think about this, right? In the first game, you're a child.
Yeah.
It's just you alone in the world. It's great, right? As you get older, you have to talk with other adults. And what do the adults do in Zelda 2? They give you jobs. Right? This is the introduction of the fetch quest.
Yes. Yes.
In the Zelda series. But again, like you're older, you have stuff to do, you have responsibilities, you have jobs to do in order to progress, which I think this was like you can kind of see the sketches where he's like, oh, wouldn't it be cool? Like you're older now, we need to find a way to give you jobs. Let's see if we can polish this up later. And it was just never polished.
It lacked the fun.
But I think it was supposed to lack the fun. It was supposed to be the mature version of Link.
Yes.
That's some of the stuff that I appreciated about the game, was the general theming of Link getting older.
You know, if that really is the theme, that does explain the lady who restores your health.
You mean
doesn't it?
The scantily clad lady who invites you into her home?
Please, let me help you.
That's weird. You know what? That was weird, but you get it. She's the town hewer.
Yeah, she's the healer.
She's the healer. But then it gets weirder when the old woman invites you in.
Hey, when you're 16, you don't pass up any opportunities.
She's experienced. Link, the Dragon Slayer. Death bubbles. The death bubbles, though, hit you in the butt. That hurts extra.
I don't hate this game. It works well enough. I mean, it's not a classic like the original one is. It's not a classic like A Link to the Past is.
Right. It's not a classic like Wind Waker is.
It's not a classic like Wind Waker
is. It's not a classic like Ocarina of Time is.
It's just a decent game. Yeah.
I like to think about like this era of Nintendo as like the magical time, like before the internet. So it's like you just had to figure it out on your own, and if you were clever enough, you could do it. But there were a couple instances, specifically, what was it? It was the second palace. The lady in the second town needed a mirror. That mirror was underneath a table in the village.
No hints that would be underneath the table. No indication that you could even search under a table.
That's the real thing.
Yeah. If she even said, I lost the mirror under the table.
Under a table. Or it's like, I think I was in this house, and then you would maybe have some incentive to just randomly press buttons in the house. But nothing. Yeah. There's nothing, and that is unacceptable, as far as I'm concerned.
Don't you like figuring things out on your own?
I do, but if there's no clues, you can't solve the mystery. More what? More, how do I pick that up? I don't know. Try different buttons. The one button picks things up. So that must not be a magic. Maybe that's a life.
That's not health. See, we should be able to pick this up. That's bullshit.
Whatever it is, we absolutely should. You stab it. You stab it. That's how you pick it up.
What?
Oh. Okay. I guess I have a key now.
Guess I have to stab this key.
But here's the question. We're to the point. Zelda 2 is a classic game. If you are a gamer, or if someone is like into gaming and you know wants to find out the roots of gaming, is Zelda 2 a game they need to play?
My response to that is I think your premise is a little bit flawed. I don't know that there are any games that anybody should have to play.
It's like, you know, like in movies, right? Like everyone needs to see Citizen Kane. You might not like it, but you need to see it. Okay. If you are a movie buff, right? If you are a video gamer, that's a thing. There are games that you need to play, I feel, to have a greater understanding of the art form.
video games are so diverse, and there's so many different just types of games, different types of experiences you can have with a game. I don't know that there's a linear list of things. Well, you have to play this and this to understand this. I don't know that games work that way.
If someone is hungry for gaming knowledge, would you ever recommend Zelda 2?
Only as a historical oddity. I think it does deserve some recognition just for being the oddball Zelda game.
Yeah, it really does. It does. And maybe if you put it into the arty-farty context, you'll enjoy it more. Of course, that's just stuff I'm making up.
That's stuff you're making up, and but listening to it, I think it fits. Right. It's an excellent theory.
Games are art, and there are game designers that try to fit themes and stories within the gameplay, and that should be preserved. And I think they were trying for something. So actually, I might be talking myself into recommending this.